Thought I'd do one more video today on Barriles. Barriles. Los Barriles is a little town in Mexico, just south of, I would say, La Paz, an hour and a half, and dead north of San Jose del Cabo, about an hour, maybe a little longer, hour and a half from Cabo San Lucas. Now, I'm going to talk to you in plain English because I didn't spend a lot of time here and didn't need to. This is a hippie town. Hippie meaning remember your parents that you may have had, or your friends' parents that always kicked around with long hair and beads and just never got out of the 60s. This is kind of Los Barriles. And I'm not knocking it, don't get me wrong. Nature, organic, and laid back. In fact, I ran into a really cool real estate agent that you can't not run into on your way there, and I thought maybe I had her card. Anyway, email me or private message me, and I'll give you her information because she was real cool, speaks English. She seems like she's from the States, and one of these that drove there and never came back to the United States and set up a real estate shop. Real estate ain't cheap there, just because it's a little laid back town. It is not cheap. In fact, I found Los Barriles just about as high as anywhere else in Mexico. I'm just looking at a map now, if you're wondering why I took my eyes off the screen. It's 85 degrees here in the first week in April. I kind of dropped in and had kind of the first beach and ran into this weird trailer park. Not weird, bad, just weird that everybody had taken their trailer, emptied it out, and had made a concession to live there for 5 years, this lease, right? And these trailers were old, but redone on the inside. You could walk through another trailer that's parked on the beach and be at the beach, or walk through a pathway. I don't mean walk through the trailer, but you're on the beach. Under $1,000 a month, you can stay in these trailers. 5-year commitment. It's a little intense for me, but if you had to live on the beach in a community that cared for each other, that's a good example. I just found it real laid back. I mean, if you're looking for laid back, there's real estate there. You can own a home. You're probably going to be in the millions, or close to $1 million if you want to be on the one with its own beach, its own playa, and have an acre around you, and you just kind of have a private beach, and a little HOA charges $50 a month because you just want to be in that. You probably do it. I would imagine a property there's 200,000 to 300,000. It's not like we're stupid here. It's full of little restaurants, little shopping. I thought it was nice. My daughter loved it. My daughter watched this. She'd say, "Dad, you're hitting this too soft. It's a lot nicer than what you're giving it credit for." So it's there. I think the beaches are great. People love windsurfing there. They get a lot of wind. Los Barriles stands for the barrels. It was either barrels of gold or barrels of water, whatever the history was. It's pretty cool. If you like to be cool, that's the cool place. That would be one place you could go to and be part of a community where you know everybody. Like if you're into knowing everybody's name and where they're from, and pulling a chair out in the afternoon and kicking back, or pulling all your chairs to the ocean, having potluck dinners once a week. That's what this little trailer group did on the stable forever trailers, and there were 2 or 3 available. that would be a real cool thing. It's probably for a gringo establishment inside of a Mexican group that is low key. That's the opposite of La Paz. So, excuse me, the opposite of Cabo. It's more like La Paz, but it's not as sophisticated. People don't drive cars there. They drive the dune buggy thing or the ATV or probably a golf cart. Went in the local store, just real casual, real laid back, and real inexpensive. It would be Los Barriles. Look it up. It's worth looking at. One other place I wanted to mention, because it's worth mentioning. El Triunfo is a little town up in the mountains between San Jose del Cabo and La Paz. You would drive through it and not understand what you're missing. This is a little town, it's probably several hundred years old, cobblestone roads, really, really cool town. Has a couple museums, but what it does have that's really good is probably one of the best bakeries in Mexico. And there's a story behind the bakery in El Triunfo. Story goes that this guy from the Bay Area 50, 60 years ago decides to move there. He has to take over a bakery from a family member. And so now his daughter is there several years later, keeping it going. She speaks English and looks gringa. I don't know the story, but she runs this restaurant / bakery, and it's to die for. Worth the drive. The little town's heritage. Let me see if I can tell you anything about it. But it was probably one of the coolest small towns I have been into in a long time. No reviews. No reviews. It's just a cool little town, and it's worth the drive. It's kind of in the hills. Imagine if it's a hot summer day, it'd be worth driving up there. It's going to be a little cooler because of its elevation. You're going to look it up and say, what are you talking about? It's 90 there today, so I don't know if it gets any cooler. Real cool bakery. It's kind of in, you got to go inside a block by the Ruta de Plata, Museo Ruta de Plata. I think it's next to that history museum. It's right kind of in that area. Please visit it. So there you go. Barriles and El Triunfo. Worth the visit. Barriles, if you're on the hippie side, you want to be laid back, you're not going to lock a door, you're just not going to care. Life's about people, about learning about new friends, having a little bit of a supper club, or you just want to get together with people and get to know them intimately. That would be a place to go check out, I think. If you do kite sailing or anything on the ocean that requires wind, that's your place as well. Like and subscribe if it's in your mind to find things that are real. I'm going to have different topics. I'm going to talk about investments in Bitcoin later on. And if you're trying to figure out what the heck's going on with Bitcoin and if it's too late, I could be your guy that could get you in the right direction. Bye for now.